All right, guys, welcome to another Australasian AMA. Thanks for joining. In fact, it is the last Australasian AMA for 2022. We do have the American final AMA will be on Monday, the 19th. And we also have the Spanish AMA, which will be on the 21st on Wednesday. So, yeah, this will be the last Australasian one. Bit of a holiday, a break for Christmas and whatnot, and then we will be back middle of January next year. Look, still be around, still be floating around on Telegram and bits and pieces, and the team will absolutely be around. It's just that I will be away from next week. So I won't be hosting this going forward for another few weeks, and then we will, we'll rejoin at the I think it's the second or third week of Jan. But without further ado, I will jump in and do an overview of what Tectum is and what we're most proud about. It's there's always good to recap for new people, or to go over it for new people, and also to recap for those that are well aware. We always want to be, bringing this up in conversation and sharing it with friends and family that might show an interest. So it's always good to be able to educate people. Tectum, the fastest blockchain in the world right now. So big claim to fame. The first thing that people typically ask is, well, how do you do that? So the way that Tectum has managed to get such fast transactional speeds or events per second is by combining two particular technologies. So we use a different consensus method. Most people would be familiar with some of the consensus methods out there, such as proof of work, proof of stake. There's also proof of history and proof of authority. There's a few floating around. Now, what Tectum use is a proprietary technology, which is known as proof of utility. What proof of utility does is it allows the nodes to be broken up into a different hierarchy, whereby we have master nodes and then we've got lower layer nodes. Now, less nodes in this setup are actually required to approve a transaction. And what it means is that we can leave our upper nodes, our master nodes, to focus on approving those transactions, while the lower layer nodes are basically looking after all of the startage and data management that happens on the blockchain. Now, this is where we introduce the second technology, hash drive technology. Now, many blockchains use hashing. However, it is Tectum's use of the proof of utility combined with the hash drive technology, and the way that we then basically take a skeleton imprint, or like an X-ray of the data that we're collecting from a native blockchain, and we store that on our lower layer, almost like archiving files. Now, what that does is it keeps the upper layer of the blockchain free to focus on transaction speed. And all in all, it means that we run a very efficient transfer of information, which allows for such high velocity of transactions to go through. Now, to give you an idea of just how fast that is, we can take a look at this little graph here. Now, most people are familiar with Bitcoin. Bitcoin transacts at around 7 transactions per second. Ethereum sit at around 25 before their merger. A lot of people are familiar with Ripple. When Ripple came out, they were known as being, ridiculously fast at 1,500 transactions per second. Tron do an interesting thing with USD stablecoin. They took it and they made it faster and cheaper than transferring on the ERC20 network. So they do that at around 2,000 transactions per second. You've got other guys that are getting up into the hundreds of thousands of transactions, which are quite impressive numbers, but no one's sitting quite as high as Tectum, that are doing over 1 million transactions per second. Now, in our peak performance tests, we actually got up to about 1.38, but we comfortably sit around 1 million. Now, in all fairness, there isn't actually a network or system out there right now that needs or can use 1 million transactions per second. But what that means is we've got a blockchain that's very scalable. We are ready for serious mass adoption and commercial use. And it also gives us the ability to have other applications that can plug plug in and piggyback off of the blockchain because there's so much capacity there, right? Now, the blockchain is realistically just Tectum's platform. That's what, a lot of things run from. However, what we're most proud of and where we believe things are really going to change the game is the soft note. Now, the soft note, it basically is a container to transfer digital assets. Now, we can see a pile of soft notes over here. There's some Bitcoin, some USDT, Tether. And we're building out those. We can write smart contracts to integrate other blockchains, whoever we see fit to partner with and have on our system. But basically the way that these work is that cryptocurrency or even fiat can be loaded onto these soft notes. And then once it's loaded onto these soft notes, it can be transferred around like crypto's never been able to be transferred before. So we can basically send these around in WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Telegram, text messaging, any messaging platform where you can send an image, for that matter, even send a link. You'll be able to send this off to another recipient in a peer-to-peer manner, whereby you also send with the soft note a PIN code or a passcode. It's a 6-digit number, and that's going to provide the ownership of that soft note. Now, how do these soft notes come about? First of all, they need to be minted. The native token for the Tectum blockchain is called a TET, T-E-T, and that token's primary utility is that you can then mint soft notes. Now, by minting soft notes, you actually get the license you become the minting license holder for that soft note. What does that mean? Well, I'll explain how that you get rewarded for being part of the system in just a second. When the soft notes are first minted, they actually come out empty and they then need to be provided liquidity or emitted. So the Bitcoin or USDT, it needs to be loaded onto the soft notes. So now that responsibility is going to gain another license, the liquidity provider's license. So there's 2 licenses involved in creating a soft note that's valuable for transfer. And each of those licenses will receive rewards for being part of the adoption of the system. Now, soft notes are free for peer-to-peer transfer, and they're also free for consumers to purchase with participating retailers. So if you want to go into a store and use a soft note to purchase a coffee or a pair of jeans or anything, there'll be no fees, 0 fees. It doesn't cost you to send Bitcoin from yourself to a friend or anything like that. The only person who pays a fee is the actual merchant, the business who is accepting the soft notes into their facility and turning a profit. Now, that's the same as if they were accepting Visa or MasterCard, whereby they would pay a merchant fee for the service. Typically, that'll be 2 or 3%, sometimes 4%. With soft note, our fee will always be under 1%. Between 0.75 and 1% is the typical rate of what it's going to cost a business to accept soft note into their system and be able to access crypto payments at lightning speed and free for their users. So if I was to send one of these soft notes to a recipient, I can basically send them a picture of the soft note where they can scan the QR code, or I can send them a link. I can even cut it out physically and I could hand it over to them, which would make for a great late Christmas gift. If somebody that you know is into crypto and you haven't got them a Christmas present, you could always print some Bitcoin out onto a soft note and give it to them as a gift. But what would happen basically is I would send this to you. You're going to get the link, and I would also send a 6-digit passcode. Now, when you click on the passcode or scan the QR code, it's basically going to open the SoftNote browser. Now, the SoftNote browser, it should appear just like this, whereby you've got this button up here that says accept. Now, to accept the soft note, you click on that, and it's going to request for you to provide the 6-digit passcode that gives ownership for that soft note. And my internet's really slow right now. We've got too many tabs open. Just close the page. Here we go. So you can see here that this payment PIN code confirmation box comes up. So basically, someone's got their mic on there. If you can just mute yourself there, we can hear dogs barking in the background. I think it's Bosman. So basically, you enter a 6-digit PIN that the sender has sent with the soft note. And when you put that in and you hit accept payment, it's going to give you ownership of this soft note and ownership of the value that's stored on it. Now, another question that people might ask is, well, how do I know that there's actually any value stored on this soft note? So if we take a closer look at the soft note itself, we've got a serial number down the left-hand side. The first 5 digits represent the currency that's built into that soft note, which is Bitcoin. The rest of the digits there, that's the serial number that is the identifier for this specific soft note, which we can see the 1222 that aligns up here with your 1222. Now, on the right-hand side, we've actually got a Bitcoin address. Okay, now this soft note is 0.0004 of a Bitcoin, which at today's value is just under about $8. So if we want to know how there's actually Bitcoin back to this, we've got this wallet address here, but we've also got this button that says proof of funds. So if we click on proof of funds, it's actually going to open up the blockchain explorer. And in this wallet here, which aligns with the print on the soft note, we can see that there's around $100 worth US dollars worth of Bitcoin that's stored in that wallet. Now, as we mentioned, this soft note is only the value of $8. So we know that the proof of funds for this soft note are well and truly in that wallet. So we know that it's actually legitimate tender, it's collateralized, and the soft note holds its value. Now, if someone were to send you a soft note that didn't have a green stripe, if it's over the typical normal denominations that come out in a 100 pack, then you can create custom soft notes. So as an introductory offer, one TET token will currently mint you 100 soft note bills. Now those soft note bills will come in a range of different denominations, and you can choose the currency that you want to print them in. And then you basically need to provide liquidity to them. As you can see here, this one is saying it's waiting for liquidity. Now, this again is the same figure, but you can see up here, there's no accept button where we need to put in the PIN code. It's actually asking to be filled with liquidity. So, and if you click on proof of funds, it's going to open the blockchain explorer and it'll just say page not found. Now, if somebody sends you one of these, you know that this is just a blank soft note. There's not actually any value tied to it. But basically, how we see the soft note operating is as a tool to transfer cryptocurrency free for users and instantaneous, faster than any blockchain will typically transfer money. And ridiculously secure, as we are basically operating as an overlay network on top of the existing, Bitcoin or ERC20 or Tron. So there's the security that's already built into those blockchains. We're locking that block in place. We're not actually creating a new block. We're just taking ownership of it across to the Tectum network, and then we're moving it around basically at, flashing speeds, a quarter of a second. As long as it takes you to refresh your browser, you basically have ownership of that crypto. So rather than trying to buy a coffee and sitting there and waiting for 5 minutes for the transaction to approve, we see this as a way to enable crypto to be used as a typical purchasing function in retail, in online stores. It can operate just the same as cash if it's printed out, and it's basically providing a solution to transfer cryptocurrency into mass adoption. So that's the soft note and the blockchain as an overview. Things that are coming up in terms of the development. The soft note, we believe, is about 90 to 95% complete. It's fully operational. We've had over 730,000 soft notes minted. We have had over 40,000 worth of Bitcoin loaded onto the soft notes. And we've also got now 5 or 6 even merchants who are accepting soft note into their business. So the operation of it currently works on a Telegram bot. However, what our developers are most focused on right now is the UI UX application. So the user interface, they're basically building that out so that it'll be an online browser where we can connect to the wallet. We can transfer, sell, mint, provide liquidity to soft notes, as well as access all of our different currencies that are in our wallet and do everything from the one application. So that's what our devs have got their heads down working on right now until the end of the year. And then moving into Q1 next year, we'll see that merge across into Android and iOS so that it's fully functioning phone apps as well. But that's basically the last piece that's going to connect us from our product to the worldwide merchants, to everyone in business, to be able to simply link up with this system and be able to take on customers literally tomorrow. I mean, we've got people who are currently merchants now. They can accept soft notes into their business just as we can share them peer-to-peer. But once this app is up and running, that's basically going to close the system and give us a full loop whereby, you know, we're fully servicing our customers in that way. So that's that. We have, as I mentioned, this is the last Australasian AMA. We do have, Trevor and I have one more guest appearance AMA, which is tomorrow, Friday. That's a Binance Live AMA. So we have communicated with this community before, and we've spoken to their team. We get along quite well with them, and they've now invited us to their Binance Live channel. Binance Live typically get a lot more eyes on their AMAs, so it'll be good to finish off with that one tomorrow. That's Friday at 12 o'clock, Binance Live AMA with Trevor and myself. The other exciting thing is that some of you would have received an email. ChrisMind have basically now offered out to the public an opportunity to purchase shares in the entire company. Now, ChrisMind is the founding company that own the Tectum blockchain. They also have a host of other things such as 3FA security login technology. In fact, it's four-factor authentication, being rebranded as XFA and now being sold to enterprise. We've got Grig Messenger. We've got a few other bits and pieces in the pipeline that have been developed. Over 50 patents are owned by ChrisMind. So quite a long-standing company, cybersecurity company, that's now big into Web3 and crypto and growing at an impressive rate. You're now actually able to purchase shares in the overarching company. They are available. There's only 2,000 shares that have been released. They're $1,500 per share. And there's some pretty impressive buyback guarantees as well. Should you hold on to them for 12 months or 24 months, then there's 200% guaranteed buybacks and bits and pieces like that. So it's quite a rare opportunity to be able to get in on something like this at such a price, because going forward, where ChrisMind will be valued, in the coming years, in 3 to 5 years, is a pretty exciting space. So if anyone is interested in that, by all means, either reach out to myself or Trevor or someone from the team on Telegram, and we can walk you through that process. I think that was about it before we open it up for any questions. The only other thing we mentioned that someone brought up to us the other day is a great idea, is the idea of, late Christmas gifts. You can always give people soft notes in a card. It's particularly if they're into crypto, or if you want to introduce them into crypto, it's a cool way to transfer over some Bitcoin or some crypto in a way that they can actually hold physically and see, okay, what's this? And the soft note's there. It's got the wallet address. It's got everything on it. They can just basically open up their wallet and see how it all works and learn if they don't know already. But with that, guys, I'll open up the chat. So what do we got here? Hi, Alex. It's nice having you back. That's from Javed. Welcome, Alex. Alex, our founder, is on the call at the moment. Is there anything you wanted to share, Alex, for the end of the year?
Brendan, hi, everybody. Alex here. I mean, there is so much already been said. We are really looking forward to launching our live merchant web interface this upcoming January. We're looking forward to adding Ethereum ERC20 support also in January, February. I mean, there is so much so much to be said about the project. You pretty much said it all. I mean, I'd rather probably just answer questions.
Yeah, sure.
The equity offering is a private is a private matter, and we offering only to our to limited number of partners in the form which is legally correct, because Chris Mind is not publicly traded company, so that's important thing to mention. Sure. And that's about it. So yeah,
great.
Thanks for having me here.
Thanks for being here, Alex. Javed said launch some marketing contest until the next coming month, as there will be no AMA and market will be too boring for the next month, I think. Yeah, things do typically quieten down over this time of year, but yeah, we'll see. There will definitely be team around and active. I will still be in and about on Telegram, but just yeah, I'll be over in France. So time zones will be different, and obviously, yeah, catching up with family and holidays, so hosting won't be so easy. But yeah, we'll see what the team can put together. Not a bad idea, Javed. Any questions from anyone? Anything that anyone wants answered? Any queries about anything? Good to have you here, Bosman, as well from Coin Cafe. You've just jogged my memory that so there were some questions that you sent me too that I need to come back to. One of which, Alex, BEP20, the plan is for integration for BEP20 for Binance around February-ish. Is that right?
Likely March, April, because we gotta finish with Ethereum first, and Ethereum is being kind of problematic due to switching to proof of stake. So their nodes don't update properly right now. So looks like we're gonna wrestle this down in February. So BEP20 is absolutely must. It's a very good question, because they basically wrapped every token in the BEP20. So we've got to have BEP20, and we will have BEP20, but we're probably looking March, April. No, we're not gonna get to it in February.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Sandra, France is great. Enjoy your holiday. Thanks, Sandra. Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. My wife is French, so the kids, they're half French, so it's all good to take them back and get in touch with their family and culture, and you know, get to see some snow and bits and pieces, which will be beautiful. Javed, you've got your hand up, buddy. What's your question, mate? How can we help?
Yeah, hi, Brandon.
How you going?
Hi, Alex. Hello.
Hi, Javed. Hi. Good to see you again.
Yeah. How are you?
Great. We're
so here is my question.
Looking forward to wrap up this year of decent accomplishments. So
here my question is, almost every government of every country is launching their CBDC. If they will list their CBDC on the exchange, and for example, anyone have the crypto on the exchange, so they can sell their crypto and convert into CBDC. You are getting
right.
it?
Yes, right. But it's gonna
government make it free to use in the retail market. That CBDC.
Right. So, but it's gonna take a while for them to get this convertibility down, because of compliance and their cross-platform integration, while soft node payment system has that problem solved at the root, you know, at the base. So you see, technologically, soft node system does not have convertibility problem, and it does not have cross-system integration problem, because we just if we need Binance chain, we just launch Binance node we just download it, launch it on our servers, and we mint soft node bills. When you're talking about CBDCs, you're dealing with are highly incompatible legislations. Now you're dealing with, for example, you want to learn, for example, you're Ghana, right? We're talking to Ghana right now. You're Ghana, you decided to launch a Ghanaian CBDC, SETI. Well, where are you gonna launch it? On Binance?
Lot of countries launching their CBDCs. So my question is this: if they make it free to use in the retail market, so how Tectum ecosystem will grow in this scenario? If all the government make their CBDCs, yeah, mostly for major countries make CBDCs and make it free to the retail market.
Right.
So how Tectum ecosystem will grow in this scenario? That's my actual question.
Well, Tectum, well, the model, the product which will be dealing with these scenarios is not Tectum really. It's a soft node, because soft node is designed to be transport of value. Soft node is a networkless and walletless system, because you don't really need a wallet to hold soft node bills, and you don't need a network to operate with soft node. So
yeah.
It looks to us that there is going to be some polarity at some point, because true peer-to-peer environment, the last attempt of peer-to-peer and decentralized exchange and peer-to-peer environment went well for like about a year and a half. Maybe you remember players like Uniswap, Bancor, and other liquidity networks, but they were too expensive, and the technology was not there, and everything revolved around Ethereum, basically Ethereum network. Network fees were high, transactions were slow, it was highly unregulated.
Yeah, I know the Ethereum base is too high for transfer.
Right. So the next generation peer-to-peer systems, platforms, and we call soft node a true peer-to-peer environment, will provide absolutely frictionless transport of value and swap options and peer-to-peer trading options, basically like if it was cash. And the tokenized models like CBDC, they're very different from soft node system.
Yeah, that's different. But the question is that if they launch it in retail market and anyone can use it as free. So because people will prefer the free.
Right. I mean, that's
rather than paying 1%.
Well, let's. I mean, with all due respect, it. I mean, it very well could be wishful thinking. You know, as I said, the regulations might not. I mean, this whole entire industry is not much. It's not predisposed much to like easy integration, multinational integration. I mean, just think about like let's take the same Ghana or take Senegal, right? They decide to release their CBDC. Where are they going to list it? On Binance? No. It's a centralized token, so
yeah,
it's bound by Senegal laws, Senegal legislation.
Yeah, it's bound by the
and Binance is a multi-jurisdictional entity, partially in US, partially in Malta, where are they currently? I believe somewhere in the Indian Ocean. I mean, what do you do? How do you deal with that? There might be another 18 months before they make it work. And I personally think that it is the right direction. The CBDC is the right direction to go. However, things can be done faster and things can be done cheaper and more efficient in some situations. I mean, for some countries, CBDC option might not even be available.
Yeah, I mean, for the major countries like India, USA,
Oh
Brazil,
yeah,
Russia.
oh yeah, absolutely. But
Indian government is
right.
on the pilot project of CBDC, and their
But
UPI is free, total free.
Right. But will the question we want to ask ourselves: will CBDC current CBDC models solve over-the-counter OTC market problems, and will they solve will they break a retail boundary, and what technology are they going to use?
Yeah, it can.
We need to actually think and discuss this. You brought up very interesting question about CBDCs, because I mean, do we perceive them as challenge, or do we perceive them as a as a next natural evolutionary step in a life of a soft node? Like for us personally, it's going to be much easier to digitize digital dollar than it is to digitize fiat paper dollar. Like our system naturally accepted USDT. I mean, USDT perfectly fits right in. So why would we think that digital euro or digital Indian currency would be any different?
Yeah, I mean, all the countries have their own CBDCs in their own way, in their own blockchains. What if they are using only in their country? There's, for example, CBDC of Indian only using in Indian retail market.
Right.
So in this scenario, how Tectum ecosystem will grow in India? That's my question.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, we would love to penetrate Indian market. We just, I mean, we never, we have to this day we have not approached India, not yet.
But no, yeah, it can be USA. USA may be launched in next 2 or 3 years. If so many countries will launch their CBDC, then it may be USA will launch.
Right.
If they make it free in the retail market, then
India is a huge economy, just enormous economy.
India and the US is more than India.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good point of conversation. Something we can look deeper into. There could definitely be opportunities for Tectum there as well.
Well, I mean, look at the practical like application. We are in talks with one of the central banks to digitize their currency. So that would be the variant of fiat currency. So it would not be like USDT. It would be just like USD, right? Which would be spread amongst millions and millions of sub accounts, and governed by isolated chain of blocks, which would be very efficient, very fast, and it would basically just record basic information about that soft node bill, about that sub account. Now look, how many problems we have. Now we got to make a deal with that central bank. We've got to adjust that legislation. We need to tailor the model specifically for them. And we've been in talks for like 3-4 months by now. And we don't even know. Say again, please. I kind of missed what you said.
Hello?
Yeah, the background there's a background noise. You kind of your voice is kind of muffled.
I'm not sure if he's still talking to us or not.
Hello.
And
yes,
yeah, there's a lot of background noise there, Javed.
Yeah. I'm hearing now.
Okay, so there's another question here from Sandra Alex.
Yep.
Sandra said, I heard Alex about wrapped tokens. Does that mean that you're aiming for DEXs as well?
Well, I mean, it absolutely is going. We're absolutely going to end up there. It's just a question when. And by wrapped tokens, Sandra, I meant Binance chain. Now those are wrapped. Also wrapped tokens. They just wrapped in a centralized manner through the smart contract. Like for example, Bitcoin. You can transfer Bitcoin through Binance BEP20 network. Well, that's wrapped Bitcoin. What you may be referring to is liquidity networks, DEXs like Uniswap, Bancor. We're likely gonna our token, Tectum token, is likely going to end up there through ERC20 protocol, because we cannot. We cannot prohibit mass adoption, right? If that's the cost of price we pay for mass adoption, let it be, as long as it's done properly and is legal. But is it going to be our priority? I would say no. I don't know if I answered your question.
There is also going to be a soft note that's underneath ChrisMind as a KYC wallet setup. And then there's also going to be soft note swap, which will be a completely separate decentralized entity of its own.
Yes, that's also in the works, kind of.
Yeah, Sandra said thank you. So yeah. Andrew, have you got any questions coming through on LinkedIn or YouTube?
Let me see, Brandon.
Thanks. Any other questions in this room?
No, there is no any question.
Okay. We can jump across to our competition. If there's nothing else anyone else wanted to bring to the table or discuss.
Hello?
Can you mute there, please, Javed?
Yeah, okay, I am muting.
Great, guys, great. Well, yeah, it's a short one today, but yeah, last one of the year. If there's no, and we don't have Trevor here today, who also loves to have a chat. He's caught up with the kids this morning and school drop off and whatnot. But otherwise, guys, we will jump across to our competition. So as usual, I will ask 5 questions. Each question is worth a 10 TET token reward. It's the fastest correct answer in the chat. And they do need to be correct in terms of, if something needs to be on the end, like, million or TPS or a $sign or, whatever it is, then make sure that you put that on there. It'll be the first correct answer who wins. And 1 correct answer per person per AMA. So once you've won 1 question, we will then move on to sharing it around. Thanks for joining, Alex. And yeah, we'll catch up with you soon. All right, guys. So question number 1 is, where are Trevor and I guest appearing for an AMA tomorrow, Friday at 12 p.m.? Where is Trevor and I guest hosting? Binance Live is correct. That was Javed. Quick to it there, buddy. Okay. Question number 2 is, how fast is the Tectum blockchain? How fast is the Tectum blockchain? Correct, Sandra. 1 million TPS, which is transactions per second. Sandra, we have missed Sandra for a couple of weeks. She's back on and firing on all cylinders. All right, question number 3, guys. What are the 2 technologies that make Tectum so fast? What are the 2 technologies that make Tectum so fast? POU, proof of utility, is one of them. And what's the other one? Hash drive. Well done, Hamid. Perfect. So proof of utility combined with hash drive technology, that's what makes Tectum run so efficiently. Very small block size, 32-bit blocks. Question number 4, how much is it to purchase a share in CrispMind? What is the current value to purchase a share in CrispMind? It's a little bit less than that, Andy. That's how many shares are available. Well done, Kenneth. I appreciate you correcting that there, buddy. Well done. $1,500 per share, and there has been 2,000 shares released. That's probably where the 2,000 came from, Andy. Last question, question number 5. What is a great idea for a late Christmas present gift idea? What is a great late Christmas gift idea? Soft note. Absolutely. Why not? Mikhail, well done. I think I have all of your guys' wallet addresses. Yeah, I do. So we will get your rewards sent out over the next few days or week. It'll certainly be sorted out by the end of the week. I know all the answers, of course, Javed, but the beautiful thing is to share around and fill everyone's pockets. The more we share, the more the project spreads and awareness spreads, and everyone benefits either way. But guys, thanks for joining in. If I don't speak to you between now and the end of the year, enjoy your holiday season, whether it's Christmas or whatever else you celebrate. Be safe, be healthy, enjoy time with your family. Thank you. Sandra has said thank you for the AMA and have a beautiful holiday to everyone. So yeah, guys, if there's no other questions, we'll wrap it up. And thanks for joining once again. We'll see you around. Enjoy your holidays, Brendan. Thanks, Javed, and you. Thanks. Goodbye.